Call, Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan, and this will be titled USA, United States of America, Troubled from All Sides. And when I say all sides, I mean from the opposition, the adversaries that are known adversaries of the other countries out there, your BRICS, led by Russia, and its allies who are coming together with one common goal to destroy this the horde that rides upon the beast. And I also mean the beast, okay? NATO, UE, who's having very well-known stated issues with, once again, the horde that rides upon the beast. Also, you got to deal with inward fighting. Yes, okay? All of which is with the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. So once again, this is United States of America, troubled from all sides, okay? Once again, this is the year that Apostle Tahar has deemed the hopeful year of Jacob's salvation, which means the return of Yahweh Shai and the host, okay, the army. All right. And also the demise of Edom, which once again equals the return of Yahweh Shai. All right. The King of Kings. So I want to start off by getting Matthews 13 and 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not. And they meaning the congregation. Okay, the congregation, the majority that come to listen to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai teach. Okay, the disciples of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai asked him, "Why do you speak in parables and dark sayings?" Okay, and this is his reply. 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So though you give them this warning and you give them these examples, they take no heed of the warning that has been sent. Okay, cast it out, the prophecies, and them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, Elias, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. So though you see it coming, you see all the conditions matching up, you still don't get the understanding, okay? For their minds have been seared with a hot iron, all right? 15, for the people's heart, their mind is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. And that goes into the wicked go estranged from the womb, speaking lies, and they go astray as soon as they be born. Now the wicked meaning Edom, okay, and his nation. But it says they're like the serpent, the stoppeth their ear like the deaf adder, meaning that they cannot, they will not perceive wisdom, okay. All right, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is pretty much saying our people on the same level, the 2/3 of our people, okay? And they're okay, so I'm gonna go back to 15. For this people's heart, their lives, their mind is waxed gross, and their ears is dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and shall understand with their hearts, okay? And should be converted, and I shall heal them. Now we know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is going to pour out his spirit in a mass amount at the end. So some of these dumbed down 2/3 Jakes will be woken up, okay? But right as of now, these are the conditions that they're still in. They slumber, okay? Now this is 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see these things which ye see, and have not seen them. So these prophets that he just, like he said, Elijah's, okay, John the prophet, John the Baptist, John the Revelator, Esdras, you name it, Jeremiah, all these, King David, all of these prophets wanted, long to see these days. Moses, okay, and we can go on. You know, the Maccabean brothers, we can go on, okay, and have not seen them, and to hear these things which ye hear and have not heard them. Okay, now let's use Yahweh Bashim Yahushai as an example of the things that they want to see and hear and be here to in this present current time, this living in this wicked day that we live in, to see and witness. Matthews 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of the coming and of the end of the world? Okay, so at that current time, they knew Yahweh Shai would be offered up, and they need to know, when will you be back to save us? Okay, all right. Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And that's taking place on this earth right now. Okay, especially if you're still entangled with that so-called Christianity. Okay. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we're focused on in today's lessons. United States of America, troubled from all sides, wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all of these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, it's not. Okay, for nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes and diverse places. So throughout all the world, earthquakes. Okay, and this is happening on large scales right now. You can Google it. It's thousands, multitude a day are taking place. Okay, and today is only the 10th of January. I guarantee it's probably within the 4,000 range already of earthquakes that's taking place. Okay, all these are the beginning of sorrows, the beginning. Okay. So this is the book of Jeremiah. A little bit where we're going to be touching on different points today, but this is one of them. This is the book of Jeremiah, Salakia. And 50. Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that he have taken against Babylon. And this is spiritual Babylon, United States of America. Okay. And his purpose that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitations desolate with them. Okay. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard amongst the nations. Okay, because when Babylon does finally go down, though that these nations will to see their destruction, they also know that they've lived fat off of her. Okay, off of the dealings with her. All right, it's been an economical thing for them. Let's get it. That's the least of the flock, if you don't know. Okay, United States of America in cahoots with the least of the flock. And I always ask, show me in the scriptures where it says that the people, they claim to be the people, they're the ish people, sort of wanna be, would be helped by the enemy, by the adversary, Edom. Okay, but once again, you have it, the least of the flock, Amalek. All right, led by right now, Ben not a Jew. Ben birthday Mikowski. Okay, so once again, a pastor, that bastard that dwells in Astroth. Okay, Fair use, fair use. 107, fair use, copyright. We're not selling a product here. It's strictly educational purposes.
Remark. I'm sure that whatever he said was taken out of context. We don't know what the rest of it was about. Clearly, as Professor Sachs has pointed out on numerous occasions, and many of my colleagues, we're already complicit in this tragedy in Gaza. But the idea of putting U.S. ground forces, whether they're special operations troops, which I imagine is what he's talking about, or not, puts them not simply at risk of being killed themselves, but it identifies us with a cause that, frankly, I don't think Americans want to be identified with. And that is a cause that is the destruction of a whole people, their way of life, their language, everything inside Israel, in Gaza and potentially the West Bank. And that places us in a position of unwanted opposition to the entire Islamic world. And if people dismiss that out of hand as meaningless, I think they need to step back and think very carefully about the implications of our soldiers on the ground, shoulder to shoulder with the Israelis, involved in operations which most of the world that we live in regards as criminal.
To your knowledge, have American troops ever fought side by side with Israeli troops? Do they even want us there?
Well, in the past, the Israelis have not wanted us there because they saw us as a potential constraint. And in fact, that's one of the things that people like myself and others have said was a virtue, that the Israelis did not want ground forces inside their country. They wanted to be responsible for their own defense as much as possible. But of course, this war has run out of control. They're overextended. They don't have forces that are required to be everywhere. And this is only going to get worse with the introduction of Israeli forces into Syria and potentially further in Lebanon, along with the likely confrontation with Iran. So I'm sure that there's some pressure being applied by Netanyahu's friends in Washington to get American soldiers into the action. But I don't think it's in our interest. It's not in our national interest. And I don't think it's going to help Israel very much.
One of Netanyahu's friends in Washington, whom some have called...
It's not an...
So once again, you heard that. At one point, Israel thought itself too good to have United States of America's soldiers occupying their territory. You remember, they're not of them. They're of the same people, but they're not of the same thought. Okay, they're the least of the flock. All right, they don't want to share wealth amongst their own tribes, amongst their own people. Okay, so now when it benefits them, like I said, I did the video, send that boy out to die. And that's exactly what Nero is going to do. And these other countries are going to do to you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. You speckled birds that look like other nations, but your father goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? This war does not belong to us, but we're in it. Okay? Knee deep in it. All right? So, once again, this is going to be the book of Jeremiah 49. And it says it's going to back up what we just read in Jeremiah 50, but with a little bit more clarity, because you heard Babylon. Okay, now let's change the dialect. This is 49 and 20, Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Didn't it start off like that last time? That he have taken against Edom, and his purpose that he have purpose against the inhabitation of Teman. And once again, that goes into their scientists, the Germans, who got split amongst all of their tribes to help advance their war, okay? And help advance their technology for weaponry. Surely the least of the flock, there's that saying again, surely the least of the flock, I showed you who that was. That was Amalek, okay? Shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitations desolate with them. Okay. All right. And who is he drawing? Who are they drawing out? They're drawing United States out to have to deal with this. Okay. And here's some of the enemies that are coming towards that are going to be drawn out due to the behavior that you just heard. All right, you just literally said who they're poking with. All of the East, known as the East, Asia and Western Asia. Okay, this is Second Esdras chapter 15 and 28. Behold, an horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east. Once again, Asia, that continent. All right, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, you see, sounding familiar, shall come out with many chariots. And we know what the modern chariots are today. Your tanks, your planes, your fighter jets, you name it. Your warships, okay? Now modern day drones, okay? And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. Okay, the multitude of them, the vast majority of these armies, okay, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Okay. Now, once again, this is the direction we're already in. It's not we're headed, we're there. All right, these are the beginning of the birth pains that will lead to the return of Yahweh Shai. All right. And once again, the host, the army. Now, I want to take a little slight break real quick. But it's not a break at all. I just want to acknowledge this. This is the book of Proverbs 18 and 10. The name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it. Yahweh, okay? Yahweh, not any other name on this earth, okay? Not Yahusha, not God, not Yahweh, Yahweh, okay? Yah, he, Howah exists, the existent he be, okay? Is a strong tower, but we say this in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, okay? Baha in the Sham name, Yah, he, Howah Shai, salvation, deliverance, not Jesus, earth pig, okay? No J, no letter J into the 16th century, to the early 1500s, okay? So it does not translate to our salvation. So once again, the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a strong tower. The righteous run up into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. Who's the rich man? The elite, okay? All right? The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Job 9 and 24, all right? And as a high wall is his own conceit, right? Meaning his leaning to his own understanding. All right. Now I brought that up because of this. The name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is a strong tower, right? So let's go furthermore. This is the book of Leviticus 19 and 30. Yea, ye shall keep my Sabbaths, okay? The Shabbat, which people want to say is on a Sunday or a Saturday, but it's not. It's based on your new moon, meaning the decretion of the moon, okay? Brings in the new month. And from that whatever that day is in that evening to the from that evening sundown to the next sundown, the following next day is your Shabbat, okay? For the next 4 quarters, 4 weeks, okay? That's the Shabbat. And reverence my statutes. I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So that's his statutes is his laws. Now listen to this, 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? So that's what the scripture says, right? Not to defile yourself, not to be defiled with those type of spirits, which are witches and warlocks. However, look what the scripture also says about, once again, the wicked and his kind. Isaiah 19 and 3. And the spirit of Egypt, spiritual Egypt, United States of America, shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. In Egypt, you know, a people for a place, your modern Edomites, okay? And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, okay? Do I have proof of that? You damn right. Okay, you see this once again? See these people? What does that say? World Evil Forum is what I call it. They call it the World Economic Forum. Now, didn't the scriptures just say in 19 Isaiah 3 what they would do? There they go. What does that look like? Does that look like somebody serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Hamashiach? No. That's that witch. That's that witch that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has sustained his people to deal with. Okay? But that's who they run to. That's who they run to. This is who they look to for their answers and their strength. Not to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why I brought up Proverbs 18 and 10 to let you know they're the opposite of this way of thinking. All right? The righteous, they're not. They're the wicked. Okay?
Took place, cut number 6.
Do you, Secretary Blinken, worry that perhaps you have been presiding over what the world will see as a genocide?
No, it's not, first of all. Second, as to how the world sees it, I can't fully answer to that. But everyone has to look at the facts and draw their own conclusions from those facts. And my conclusions are clear.
He didn't seem very comfortable to me with his own answer. Did he seem comfortable to you, Colonel?
I don't know. I've long since lost any real respect for the man. The man does not represent the interests of the American people. He's not the Secretary of State for the United States. He's representing a foreign country.
So what does Elder Malcolm Chicago say about this? Elder Malcolm. He says that how can you be America first if you're embedded in the affairs of foreign affairs? And when I say embedded, I mean deep down, steeped into it. All right, majority of our resources being sourced out to other countries than the nation needing it, our people. It doesn't work that way.
With alien interests. This is the problem. We have no interest in the mass expulsion and murder of millions of Palestinian Arabs from their lands. That is not in the interest of the American people, and we don't want to do it. And this is after decades of systematic propagandizing of the American people to ultimately hate Muslims and Arabs in particular. I don't think the American people want our forces on the ground there. So I'm not really surprised at what he said. I'm just disappointed once again.
I'm disappointed when President Trump says that he's Israel's best friend. I think that's dangerous. I think it's sending a signal to Netanyahu, I'll give you even more than what old Joe gave you. What do you think?
Well, I think if he wants to be Israel's best friend, he ought to be interested in essentially de-escalating and disengaging. You know, this is not the time to escalate this war. Israel is already overstretched militarily. Economically, it's in ruins. It has no chance of holding all of the terrain that it aspires to conquer. And it's amassing enemies at a rate that boggles the mind. Virtually everyone in the Arab world, everyone in the Islamic world, and increasingly people in Europe and Asia are all turning against Israel, and unfortunately us, as a result of our unconditional support. So I think if he were a friend to Israel, he would warn against this overextension leading to Israel's destruction. But that doesn't appear to be on his mind at this point.
No, and he doesn't appear to be surrounding himself, Colonel, with people who think the way you do, at least in the national security sphere.
Now I want the beginning of this to play again.
Place, cut number 6.
Do you, Secretary Blinken, worry that perhaps you have been presiding over what the world will see as a genocide?
No, it's not, first of all. Second, as to how the world sees it, I can't fully answer to that.
I could tell you how to answer, how the Bible, the scriptures will answer to what they're doing, okay? To that genocide that's taking place, all right? This is the book of Nahum. Let the scriptures answer that question. 3. starting at verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Okay? The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of wheels and of prancing horses and of jumping chariots. The horsemen lift up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And you know that's going into that firepower. That's the missiles about to start being slung back and forth. Okay? And there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses. And there is none end of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpse because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. Who is that well-favored harlot? The harlot that sits upon the beast, United States of America. The mistress of witchcrafts, okay, and that's definitely yours, starting with their media, always suggesting, once again, through lies, robbery, and deceit, okay, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts, okay. Behold, and hey, selleth families. What happens when war? Your family, once again, send that boy out to die. You lose family members, okay. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts of armies, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will show thy nations thy nakedness, okay? And the kingdoms thy shame. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Hey, once again, never before have you ever been heard of the United States being brought up on charges of genocide, okay, along with their little brother or sister, whatever you want to call it, Jewish people, Israeli, okay, being brought up on genocide charges, okay, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vow, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And that's a gazing stock is something you look at with astonishment, like what the hell? An astonishment, yeah. Okay, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to make the world to see all of the shame and filth of these people, okay, as they come down and pulled from power. All right, brought down to the ground, as Obadiah would say. Okay.
NATO today, and how would that instability be exacerbated if the United States or Germany withdrew?
First of all, without Germany, there is no NATO. Let's be frank. Germany is a nation of 80 million. In economic and military terms, it is indispensable to the survival of not only NATO, but the European Union. And I would argue that both organizations are in very, very fragile condition. NATO presents a good front with the help of a media that is largely controlled by intelligence services in the West, designed to portray success in places like Ukraine, where there has been nothing but failure. But this is all falling apart because of the economic reality. Germany has been essentially subjected to pasteurization on the model of the Morgenthau Plan at the end of World War II, a plan which we considered and then rejected, but was put forward by Morgenthau. The combination of deindustrialization with the influx of millions of non-Europeans, primarily people from the Middle East and North Africa, has turned Germany into a catastrophe. The population knows it, and the population is now ready to change horses and to remove the people in Berlin that are responsible and to put in a new government. This new government has made it very clear that they do not necessarily agree with the assumption that Germany's membership in NATO is a benefit to Germany, or that Germany's membership in the European Union is necessarily a benefit. Germany is the convenient whipping boy who's blamed for everything that everyone everywhere in Europe doesn't like. And it's stupid, and they're sick of it. And I think we're going to see a rising tide of German nationalism that charts a fundamentally new course. And that course will take Germany back to where it spent most of its time over the last 300 years. and that is as a partner, strategic partner for Russia.
You hear that?
Do you
Would Russia sound familiar? Okay, you already had Turkey turning away from the NATO, aiming. They're saying that they'd be beneficial more working with Russia. So let's get it. This is the book of Ezekiel 38, starting in verse 1. And the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesies against him, saying, Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Allah power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which is Russia. Okay? It goes directly into Russia. You can even do the landmass on Google, and it show you the region of Gog and Magog. Okay, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horsemen, and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckles and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, so once again, towards the late 80s, early 90s, the Soviet Union had been broken down into different various regimes, and then Putin came back in the establishment, and his goal is to make the Soviet Union great again, like MAGA. But make the Soviet Union great again, okay? Which means those territories that he belongs to them, okay? And he's raised, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has put that spirit, that warrior spirit, back into Russia. That's what I am trying to say, all right? Now, this is the Bible comparison to Jeremiah, to Ezekiel 38. In verse 4, the NLT. Well, I want the NIV. And I will turn you around and put hooks in your jaws and bring you out with your whole army and the horses and your horsemen fully armed, and a great herd with large and small shields all. And I guess the NLT too. And I will turn you around and put hooks in your jaws and lead you out with your whole army, your horses and chariots in full armor, and a great herd armed with shields and swords. Okay? This is 5. Ezekiel 38 and 5, Persia and Ethiopia and Libya with them. Once again, the BRICS. Do your research. It's all coming together. And all of them with shields and helmets, Gomor and all his bands, and the house of Tigmor with the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thee. And are they not doing that? Every time you look up, you see Putin shaking somebody's hand. One of these is not just North Korea. It's all over. Okay, he's going from place to place, getting this alliance built up, this brick stronger and stronger. While you see the UN and NATO coming into shambles. All right, falling out with each other, especially out the mouth of Trump. Okay, when he opens his mouth, it goes the opposite direction. Okay, be thou prepared. And I think about Yahweh Shai saying this to United States of America. That would not fit prophecy, because they're doing the opposite, other than trying to take care of the little hatters, okay, the least of them. All right. Once again, 38 and 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be unto them a guard unto them. Okay. So once again, this is the prophecy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. There's no way around it, all right?
No opportunity to speak. And then we also need to look at Europe and understand Europe is rapidly slipping from our grasp. If you listen to Elisa Vital, who leads the Alternative for Germany, and she's a very competent person. She's very smart, and she's absolutely right. She says the Germans have to stop being serfs, stop pretending that we're slaves, obligated to do whatever everybody else tells us to do, particularly Washington. We must be Germans. We must take some sort of understanding of our own interests and instrumentalize those. In other words, we have to pursue what we think is in our interest, in the interest of Europe, in the interest of Central East Europe, because we don't want a war with Russia. Now, under those circumstances, the idea that we should now increase sanctions or find new ways to punish Russia and harm it is sheer lunacy, unless we want to accelerate a gradual disengagement from Europe, which I think is inevitable, and turn it into a rout where we look ridiculous on the way out.
Not to aggravate you.
Now, let's do a little math. In the first video I played, it told you that Ben Nadaju is suggesting that United States put boots down and deal with some of the conflicts, whether it be Syria or even Gaza that they're dealing with right now, that they use our boots, okay? You know, Ukraine has already been rumored that they're using our boots, okay? We're going to have to deal with Iran and use boots, okay? That's a lot of boots, right? That's a lot of boots going out here and there from the United States of America. Okay, which is it called? Stretching it thin is what it's called, right? Now, let me remind you. Remember, I named this United Snakes troubled from all sides. All, I mean every. So we touched down on the conflict with going on with the Little Hatters. We still got the conflict going on that's going to draw Russia and his bands out, okay, and his crew, BRICS, all right? But don't ever forget, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua promised this. Back to the book of Jeremiah, because these are all promises, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not a man that he can lie. So while you're in the midst of all of these conflicts, these wars and rumors of wars that we've read about in Matthew's 24, the wars and rumors of war, nations and nations rising up against each other. Voila. Don't forget this. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, spiritual Babylon. There it goes again. United States of America. And against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. Okay, that's Jacob trouble. Okay, and those fanners, what do they go into? Those are foreigners, and we're going to get it. Those are your Gober troops that are here now. Watch the movie Sleeper Cell. Get familiar. They're here. Military man hidden within our nation, hidden in plain sight, because you hear about them. They're reporting once again that false media telling you is Venezuelan gangs. That's all you worried about. Venezuela. No, you're not worried about the Hamite. You're not worried about the Moab, the Ammon, the Japhet that's coming over here. No children, no wives, military age. You're not worried about them. Okay. How did they even get over here? They didn't walk over here. All right. How was they funded to get over here? But let's get it. Jeremiah 51:2. NLT. Foreigners will come and dwindle her, blowing her away as chaff. They will come from every side to rise up against her in the day of trouble. Okay. Let's get that NIV. And I will send foreigners to Babylon, spiritual Babylon, to window her and to devastate her land. They will occupy her on every side in the day of her destruction. Okay? So what do you think that's going to lead to? That's going to be part of this prophecy, help fulfilling this prophecy right here. 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. Okay? And starting at 14. Woe unto the world and them that dwelleth therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Didn't we just read that? In Jeremiah 51, draweth nigh to spiritual Babylon. Okay? And one people shall stand up and fight against another people and swords in their hands. And they want to have to, because these ain't going to be the people who got any sympathy for you. There's no love, not a hint of it. Okay? The spirit's created for vengeance, going out to please Yahweh by Shemi Yahushai. Okay? 16, for there shall be sedition amongst men. What is sedition going against? Uh, Rioting, invading against your government, not just against man, against the powers, the government, okay? And invading one another. And they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Who is that today? Your modern politicians, your governors, senators, mayors, presidents, okay? Dictators of all sorts, okay? And the cost of their actions shall stand in their power. Your militias, okay? Ex-military, all right, supposedly gang bangers, okay? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because of martial law. It's that simple. It's going to be taken, the right to be will be taken from you. So I just want to sprinkle that in there, okay, before we end this up. All right? Just a hint of it. You're not going to be able to evade this. It's going to be trouble on all sides, okay, when it comes to spiritual Babylon. All right?
After Chancellor Scholz's government collapsed in Germany.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Austrians are different from the Germans in many of their views of foreign policy, and they have a different vision for the future from the Germans. But they share a similar interest, and that interest is in good relations with Russia and in avoiding war in Europe. And so, yes, what's happened in Austria and in Germany is just the beginning, I think, of a dramatic change across Europe. I mean, stop and think. We are the people that destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline.
Right.
And I remember.
Once again, I did a video on this a couple of days ago, a response to, about a week ago, a response to Elder Malcolm from Chicago, who has been touching on this Nord Stream since 2019 that I can remember, letting us know how bad that was and how idiotical that was for the United States of America to make that move. Okay, once again, who did it hurt? Who did it put in danger? It put their allies in trouble, not Russia.
In 2019 and 2020, discussing these things when I was in the Trump administration, brief though it was, and I actually wrote a memorandum that said, whatever you do, stop treating the Nord Stream 2 as some sort of security threat to the United States or Germany, because it isn't. But everyone insisted that it was, and said this would make Germany permanently dependent upon Russia.
And I'm going to stop that video there because the point is made. Now I'm ready to get the scripture. The point is made. They've really fucked up. United States of America, you fucked up. This is Revelation 17. Okay? So once again, you're going to get hit on all sides. Now, before I grab this verse, remember, Trump has been mocking Trudeau and Canada. All Canada's just the 51st state. Okay, so once again, that's another ally that you're poking at. But when it comes to the UN, they're fed up because you directly have already injured them, okay, economically. So this is Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. We know who the harlot is, right? United States of America. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay? So you're going to get it on every end. We're going to have problems from within, civil war, all kind of chaos. The Gober troops here, okay? The fanners that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua sending. You're going to have your own allies ready to punish you for what you've done to them, for putting them at risk. You have the opposition already set up, which is Russia and once again, the BRICS coming against you. You got to deal with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to finish it off. Okay, to finish it off. And the only thing that's gonna stop Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the host from coming is those waiting for those ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay, but before that, there's one more major prophecy. And in the midst of all these things, once again, you got to consider Proverbs 18:10, because the righteous will run to the strong tower of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. The weak will fall short. All right. And this is one of the major temptations that are coming. Revelations 13:16. He calls of all, both and small. Salakia, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, small and great, going into your status from the most least relevant to your most iconic. Okay, rich and poor. All right, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Okay, that mark is charagma. The etymology is karax, a pale, a stake, known as a syringe today. Okay, he calls of all. Okay, and that no man might buy or sell save that he had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And all of that is wrapped into that barcode when it's being read, when it's being scanned, whether you're going through a grocery store, your house, okay, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a medical procedure. All of these things will be read out at that current time, the information needed. Okay, it's all within that bar. All right, so once again, United States troubled from all sides. Okay, you better know Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, I pray that this has been edifying. Shalom.